Yo, what up YouTube, it's Bryce. Going to be doing my Agent deck profile for the September 2013 format. I've taken this to my locals a couple weeks, figured get a deck profile up for you guys. So here we go. Start off with 3 Earth, Stratos of the deck, search Venus pretty much. 3 Hyperion, boss monster of the deck. I figure decks either have a boss, synchro, or exceed monster, or a main deck boss monster. Every deck has a boss monster that is successful pretty much. So Hyperion is the boss monster of this deck. That's the explanation, as if one was needed. This is a more controversial choice. I run 2 Venus. My logic in this is, A, I own 2 Venus, but it's not as bad as you'd think. So, like, really, you only want to search it once, and even then, the other one's basically dead, the other 1 or 2. So I've topped both of the times I've gone. I top aided and forward respectively based on the number of players there. And then I've never ever ran into a problem of wanting another Venus. And I do run the one Jupiter, which is player preference, obviously. But I like it. I like having a target to search after I've searched my one Venus that I actually want. Granted, it's good to have the second, or potentially third, I suppose, to compensate for the fact that sometimes something happens to it, but yeah. 3 Shine Ball. You gotta run 3. And then on to the non-agents. I run 2 Veiler. I think Veiler is a better main deck choice, at least, than Max C, from what I've seen in the format so far. And we also run 1 Herald of Pure Light. I don't know why it looks straight up white, all the cards now. The glare, like, it seriously changed, I think. I'm going to adjust this a little. Maybe, no, it won't help. Anyway, that's a Herald of Orange Light. If you don't know what this does, you discard this and another fairy, and you negate an effect monster and destroy the monster. So it's good against graveyard effects like TGs, Dark Soul, whatever. 2 Trag. This is a Chaos build, and Trag is good for defense and stuff. I don't like the light, but yeah, we're out here, guys. That's 1 Honest. Card is broken. Gores, once again, Chaos build, and it scores. We run the 2 Tour Guide because it is the best generic dark monster, in my opinion, if you're just going to be splashing a Chaos Engine into a deck. Plus, you can get Levier or get back one of your removed agents, and you can just have plays. Run the 1 Reaper. People are not expecting to crash into that. Plus, it's a level 3, so it synergizes for Exceed plays, I guess. And it's in there because it's a dark, obviously. This card, I really hate this card, Chaos Sorcerer. In my 2 tournaments, I have never resolved the summon or effect of this card once. I really hate it. It's an easy card for me to side out, at least. That way, you know, yeah, basically. So it's in there for that reason. Plus, it's a good card. I assume it would be good if I got it off ever. 1 Thunder King Ryo. Card should be not at 1, probably, and it would actually be this golden format we all think it is. Because it would be format changing, but in a definitely positive way, if this card was at more than 1. But it does put in an insane amount of work still when you do have it. You can just play the Protect the Thunder King game. I like some of these cards that are at 1, because it teaches you to honor that card as a power card, just like you would Dark Hole or whatever. Run the 1 Christia. It's good when it goes off. Kind of inconsistent. You can set it up though. You can, so that's why I do run the 1. And then Blackluster Soldier wins games. Book of Moon, stop stuff. Dark Hole, blow stuff up. Foolish Burial. I run this instead of the 3rd Venus, and I've liked it, I guess. It can give you a dark when you need it, because I thought maybe the deck would struggle with that. Or it can just... That's really all it does for the deck. Or it can put an agent in grave for Hyperion. I forgot that. I knew there was another purpose for it. We run the 1 Creature Swap. This card, you run definitely enough targets for this card. Although the card doesn't target, you guys know what I meant. Enough cards that synergize well with this card. You got your Shine Balls, Earths even, Tour Guide if it gets Veilered or something, and then Veiler itself. So yeah, the card's really good at 1. I think it's kind of a staple in Agents. I don't look at other people's deck profiles per se, but I don't know why it wouldn't be a staple. It's just too good for the deck. Then 2 MST main deck. 2 Forbidden Lance just to protect the Hyperion, or even the Thunder King, or whatever. And then the traps, we run the 1 Bottomless, Warning, Compulse, and Torrential Tribute. And the last 2 cards in the main deck are 2 Dimensional Prison. I don't get why people run Mirror Force over this, I guess. I don't want an actual explanation. That was a little bit of hyperbole. I do understand why some people like the card more. But I still just think this card removes cards from play, which is a big deal. Anyway, onto the extra deck. Run the... Whoa, majorly out of focus. We run the 1 Dark Mist. This card, you can make it. I've never made it, but if you need it, it's there. Gotchi, pretty much the main extra deck card you go into. Daigusto Phoenix, if you need it for the OTK or just a push, basically. I have made that before. I like the card in general. Zenmaines, if you have no other first turn play, I suppose, with Tour Guide. Leviair for Tour Guide. Leviathan, beat over stuff if you want to not worry about Acid Golem's burn damage. And then there's Acid Golem, beat over stuff if you need the 3k. We run the Armory Arm because we run BLS and you can actually make this somewhat well in the deck, I guess. Running a 2-star tuner. And Shine Balls. We run the Catastor. I guess you make this with like a Shine Ball and like 2 Shine Balls and a Veiler or something. Basically it's Catastor, I don't know. That card's debatable. This card's debatable as well, Orient Dragon, but once again you can make it and it's a good 6-star. Black Rose, that's fairly hard to make in the deck. I've never made any Synchros in the deck, to be honest. Crimson Blader with Veiler and Gores, really. Scrap Dragon, same way. Mistworm, you can make this with a bunch of monsters, essentially, but you can get it out. Then Chimera Tech, just to win games against machines, essentially. So yeah, a lot of these card choices are debatable. Pretty much every Synchro, except maybe Armory Arm, could be changed to something like a 4-star Exceed, like Cowboy, or maybe Dweller, Black Ship of Corn, whatever you need. But yeah, there's definitely been times when I've wanted to go for Cowboy in the deck, and there's never been a time I've wanted to make a Black Rose Dragon or anything like that. So yeah, but the deck has done well. So, and agents don't really use the extra deck anyway very much, so that's why it doesn't matter. Side deck, people who say they don't like showing side deck because it varies based on location, that is obviously very true, but you still can show your side and explain the card choices and people will understand why those cards work well in a side deck for that deck. 1 Max C, I used to run 2, but as you guys who are subscribed to me or whatever know, all my cards get shared around in various decks, so this is a better side in some decks than others. This is actually a good deck to side Max C though, so... because you actually have cards to draw into. But anyway, yeah, that's the explanation on 1. I would run 2, not 3 though. Herald of Orange Light, just because it's good to side it in on decks that it hurts, basically. Like I said, it stops graveyard effects, so it's really pretty potent if you get it off. 2 Cyber Dragon, because this is a format where you need a pretty diverse side deck because you have no idea what you're going to run into. Siding for just dragons or Prophecy or Evil Swarm or whatever isn't necessarily the best move in my opinion, because you may play none of those. I know I didn't mention Constellars, but whatever. Yeah, so 2 Cyber Dragon for machines, just because you can summon it and scoop stuff up, and that's good. 2 Snowman, this is, I guess, for Ophion, or for Blackwings, I guess. I have sided this in once against Blackwings, because the Shura runs into it. They either have to drop a Kalut and minus, because they still lose their Shura, or they have to just take the minus on the Shura, and you still have the Snowman on board. So that's good. 2 Dyna, just because of the simple like oppression type reason on Dyna. Just you summon the card after you've gone off, and then they can't summon until they get rid of the Dyna. And then 2 Raikou, hit Ophion, I guess, because obviously my boss monster is Hyperion, and I struggle against Evil Swarm. And it also hits back row if they side in problem cards, because, yeah, if they stop your plays, it's kind of hard to follow up. But I notice a lot of times people will stop my play, and then I'll just have a Hyperion, and it'll be like, alright. But anyway, yeah, Raikou hits cards. It's good, and Chaos milling is definitely an advantage to the deck, not a hindrance. 3rd MST, and even a Dust Tornado, just because I do fear the back row. The side game back row with this deck. 1 Curse of Darkness. You could run more, but I only have 2. I don't know where the other one is. It's good against Prophecy. I'd imagine. I've never played them this format, and I've never sided this in against them, obviously, because I haven't played them. But I imagine it's a good card, because then it gives them... They just have to think that much more, I guess. And then it can give you a chance to hopefully fight back, or just win before they do anything, or can. And then 2 goes a match for dragons, I guess. Or whatever, really. Like Monarchs, GBs, you don't know what you're going to run into this format. So it's a format where a diverse side deck, I think, is a good choice. And I always believe in a diverse side deck. But yeah, I guess that's my agent deck profile. If you guys like it, I guess thumbs up. If you have any comments on it, comment, I guess. Like I said, like the Venus thing, that's, I suppose, player preference, and I have not had problems with it, so you can't just tell me I'm bad for it, because if it works, right? But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and peace. Let it get in focus.